What is the most morally questionable thing you've ever done? I was intimate with my cousin and he's married. I feel sick about it. My extended family isn't close. There's a lot of us. My dad has 3 siblings and my mom has 4. Most of them have children. My dad and a couple of others were career military, so we moved around a few times. Prior to about a year ago, the cousin in question I think I met maybe 4 times total. His mom, my dad's sister, is the oldest sibling and my dad is the youngest. There's a decent age gap between us, 15 years or so. When I got out of college in 2022 after attending late, I got a job in the state where my parents and some of their siblings lived. I moved to a small town by a larger city, working from home. I have to go in once a week and it's about a 90 minutes drive. My aunt called me to let me know that her son and his wife lived in the city and they were willing to show me around. Her son James and I texted back and forth and I met him and his wife, Anne, for dinner. I'd never met James's wife before. Anne and I immediately got along. She's beautiful both inside and out, and we have the same sarcastic sense of humor. If she wasn't married and I was into girls, I'd marry her. After dinner, we went and had drinks, and they insisted I stay at their house instead of driving home late at night. This started a pattern. Every couple of weeks, I'd come to work at the office, then head to James and Anne's house and we'd hang out. Anne has some kind of back damage from her youth, so when she wasn't feeling well, we'd either stay home with her or sometimes James and I would go out on our own. While they always said it was no trouble, I didn't feel right constantly crashing at their place, so sometimes I would drive home or get a hotel if I'd had too much to drink. My company gets a corporate rate at a certain chain and I can use it whenever I like. Anyway, fast forward to this last weekend. I went to the office and got off a bit early. I texted James, who told me to head to their house because he wasn't off work yet. When I got there, Anne was propped up in her recliner with a heat pad on her back. She was having a bad day. I admit I was really disappointed because we were supposed to go to this club and James had promised to teach me to dance. I told her I'd just go ahead and go home, but she said no and James and I should go out. So he got home and she verbally pushed us out the door. We went to the club, danced, and drank a little. Eventually, he got tired of me stepping on his feet and we went to a nearby wine place and drank and talked. By the time the place closed, neither of us was in any shape to drive. I was drunk, really drunk. We both were. I remember us arguing, because he told me I was coming home and I told him I'd already paid for a hotel. I got an Uber and we were going to share. We got to my hotel and he said he'd see me to my room cause at that point I wasn't walking straight. We were being goofy, singing and stuff. I threw a shoe at him in my room, missed by a mile, and he fell out of his chair laughing. We were that level drunk. At some point I passed out. So in the morning, I woke up with a massive headache. James was in the bed next to me. Initially, I didn't really remember much, but when you wake up naked next to a person and you're sore, you know what happened. I snuck out of bed, gathered my clothes, then went in the bathroom and got dressed. And I cried. A lot. I was sick a couple times. I guess I woke James up, because I heard knocking at the door, James saying he's sorry and will I please come out so we can talk. I came out a sniveling smelly crying mess. I asked him if we were intimate and he nodded. I told him I was sorry and I was a terrible person and kept rambling. He gave me a wet rag to wipe my face and started talking. He said he was sorry too, and he was taking responsibility because he was older and should have known better than to get so drunk. I asked what we were going to do about Anne. He said he felt he should tell her the truth and it was probably best if I wasn't there. He told me he would make sure she knew it wasn't my fault. He left and later I left. I don't know what happened between James and Anne, but Sunday I got a long text from Anne. It was kinder than I feel I deserve. She said she would like to speak to me about what happened but not right away. She doesn't want me to contact her or James for a while. She did say she wouldn't tell anyone. I texted her back and told her I understood, how sorry I was, and I wouldn't contact either of them till she said so. I've started to remember a bit of what happened, and we were definitely intimate. I feel sick and horribly guilty. I don't know if it's weird that I feel worse about the married part than the cousin part. I almost want to up and move across the country to hide from this.